Hey, how's it going? I was just wondering, why do so many people just hate Cenk and the Young Turks? I know that they have some biases, then their biases are pretty obvious. They don't try to say that they're not biased. They're not pretending anything. They don't hold police up in very high regard. So if police do something awful, they like to call that out. Um, they don't say anything negative about women and or feminism. They don't say bad things about black people. They don't say bad things about the LGBT community. They don't say bad things about Muslims. And they don't say anything negative about social justice. So is that the element? I mean, are you just really itching to hear people make fun of feminists and women, make fun of the LGBT community, make fun of black people, make fun of Muslims, make fun of those that believe in social justice? Are you just really itching to get that? Is that what it's about? You got to. If it's a media organization, they have to have some of that. Like, I mean, there are a number of channels out there. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of channels out there that are completely dedicated to making fun of women and or feminism, black people, the LGBT community, Muslims, and or the concept of social justice, or those that are trying to push social justice. Well, those are the only things that these channels focus on. Just like try to look at what this would seem like in the 1990s. If we would have been able to envision the future and we saw this, we saw these channels that are putting out that kind of thing, how do you think they would have been viewed back then? Just kind of curious. I mean, isn't that the same kind of content that Rush Limbaugh puts out? Isn't that the same kind of content that, minus some of the really strange religious tilting conspiracies that Glenn Beck puts out? Isn't it kind of like CBN? Minus the religious stuff? Isn't a lot of it like Fox News? Only more extreme? Quite a bit more extreme? Yeah, how would we have viewed that in the 90s? Wouldn't it have seemed pretty bigoted? Wouldn't we just call that bigoted back then? Oh, but we're in 2017, and there's no such thing as bigotry on the internet, or there's no such thing as bullying on the internet. There's no such thing as treating people badly on the internet because they can just turn it off. There's no such thing as racism on the internet. There's no such thing as misogyny on the internet. There's no such thing as homophobia or transphobia on the internet. No, because it's on the internet. Or I see some weird excuses, and I'm probably not explaining them very well. But it bothers me a lot that it's just like, well, a media source isn't valid unless it's making fun of or criticizing women and or feminism, black people, the LGBT community, Muslims, or social justice. Heck, I mean, let's not even look at it in the context of the 90s. Let's just look at it in the context of 5 years ago. What would we have thought of that 5 years ago? But now it's okay. Now it's kind of the norm. And now, unless people do that, they're not a valid media source. Someone explain. Someone please explain. Because, I've seen the Young Turks call out stuff that would definitely never be called out by mainstream media. The Young Turks continually calls out mainstream media for not covering things like they should, like the Dakota Pipeline. I see them being very, very, very critical of mainstream media, but I guess they're not critical of mainstream media the right way. No, they have to be critical of mainstream media because, well, mainstream media isn't making fun of women or gay people or black people or Muslims. So, the media needs more of that or something. I don't even know, man. I don't fucking know. And it drives me nuts. And then because media has been just so utterly fucking terrible over the past 8 years in the way they've talked about, they've not been very critical of the left or anything the government has been doing when we had the Obama administration. I get that. But are we just kind of trying to make up for all of that for those 8 years? We're just trying to make up for that all at once by doing exactly the opposite? Actually, what's trying to go on right now is media and the public kind of swapped places. I don't know. Just someone explain what it is that you just can't stand about the Young Turks and Cenk. What is it? Why do you hate them so much? I get that they're biased, but they're not lying about their bias. They're honest about their biases. So what's the deal? Many of you who can't stand the Young Turks watch plenty of channels that are really biased. Is a bias to the right the only bias you accept? I don't get it. So someone explain. Thanks.